Hi, everybody. Welcome to Good Taste for the Soul. I'm Tangi Patton. I think you're going to enjoy today's guest. Mushrooms are having a moment. And the lady that is going to join us today, Diane Roederer, she has a company out of Houston called DR Delicacy. And she is an expert on mushrooms, and her company supplies mushrooms not only to top chefs all over Houston, but also to Central Market and HEB. If you've bought mushrooms there, no doubt they probably were from DR Delicacy, especially if you see her name on the ones at HEB. In any event, fascinating lady. She's built this incredible business, and she's such a lovely person. She's French. Her story of how she ended up in Texas is fun too. And her discussion about mushrooms, they're really good for us. They have immune functions, they have memory improvement functions. Research is showing more and more. There are a lot of reasons to incorporate mushrooms into your diet. So let's get started. Diane, I'm excited to talk to you about the world of mushrooms.
Thank you for having me here, Tangi.
Well, it's a fun topic because mushrooms really are kind of having a moment right now, aren't they?
Yes, it is. It is replacing a lot of things, and people are discovering that mushrooms can bring you a lot of health benefits. From your memory, from all your heart, your circulation, everything. And plus, it's a good substitute to meat. So, and cheaper. So it's all plus.
Well, it is fascinating. When you get into it, different mushrooms seem to have different properties. All of them apparently have health benefits in one way or another. So it really is a fantastic food group to start learning more about. What are some of the most popular varieties?
To be honest, I'll grab one, but I think you know which one I'm talking about, which is the lion's mane. It looks very a little, different than regular mushrooms. But if you look at it, it looks like crab meat. And so we have a really good recipe using a crab meat recipe, and you use this instead and you replace it. And what is fantastic with lion's mane, it's very good for your memory, for your brain. So it's you eating your health. So
that's what got my attention. So you gave me one of these to play
mm-hmm.
with. And so far I've made the crab cakes. They were delicious. It was fantastic. And actually, I kind of like the mushrooms taste by itself, just raw. There's a sweetness, and then it kind of finishes with a slight, I don't know, is it a bitter? It's a fun flavor. But I looked up the health benefits of this one, and it got my attention because it said memory. Anything cognitive there.
Don't we all need that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fascinating thing. I look forward to doing other things. You can cut it like you would a cauliflower steak as well, right?
Exactly. And cook it the same way you would do a cauliflower steak, with oil in your frying pan, or add the spices. It's phenomenal. It's healthy. It's tasty. So all good on that.
All of the above. So on different mushrooms, a lot of times if you're doing a recipe, it'll call for shiitakes or maybe button mushrooms. How interchangeable are they? If you don't, sometimes you go to the grocery store, and we'll talk about all of the ones you have available, but sometimes one is available, the one you're looking for may not be. Are they fairly interchangeable in a recipe?
Yes, most of them are. There are some, like the king trumpet might be a little difficult to substitute because this can be used like a steak. So you slice it as a steak and then cook it as a steak. But if you find, those are baby shiitakes, those can be replaced by, the oysters that we have over there, or the maitake, no problem. It'll be difficult to replace, the lion's mane just because it, of its specific, texture. So that one might be difficult. But normally this is going to be the star of the recipe. So you might have to change the recipe that night.
It is a stunning product. It really is.
Yes.
It's just
and it's
beautiful.
Local. It's grown around Houston. So it's a local mushroom.
It's beautiful. So you work with every single variety. Do you have a favorite?
Honestly, I was raised on morels and porcinis because of my origin in France and chanterelles, of course. So those are my favorite, but those are wild mushrooms. We don't have them year round. That's the only thing. But they're I would say a lot more powerful in taste and flavors than these. But honestly, if I can have mushrooms year round, I'll go for it.
And is there a secret to how to store them? I've read different things. Some people say in a paper bag, wrap in paper towels. Is there a best practice when it comes to keeping these?
So mushrooms are actually like truffles. They have 70-80% of water. So water is the enemy. You need to let them breathe or absorb the moisture so they last longer. So of course in the fridge, but in a paper bag is great. In a paper, in paper towels, perfect. But don't forget to change it. As soon as it gets humid, change it.
Change it then. And what about, because there's all kinds of advice on cleaning mushrooms before you cook with them. Buttons in particular come to mind because those often I usually just wipe mine because I've heard don't rinse them. Can you rinse them? Does it matter?
You should not rinse them because, like I said, they're gonna absorb all that water, which is not helping. So I just normally brush mine or lightly, spray them just to clean, and just go for it. But you should cook your mushrooms. I wouldn't advise to eat them raw.
So cook them instead of eat them raw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You've got that giant pile on your desk. Those for truffle fans, they're probably
Yeah.
drooling right now. It's rare to see that many truffles in one place. These are the delicacy mushrooms, right?
So it's actually not a mushroom. It's a fungus because mushrooms grow above ground.
Yeah.
These grow underground. So that is the difference. Yes.
That's why they use the pigs to.
So no pigs. Pigs are not allowed to hunt truffles because they're truffle lovers. So they're gonna eat it before you can catch it. So only dogs.
Only dogs. Okay, I did. For some
Only
reason,
dogs.
I was thinking it was the pigs that those
Used
are
to
your
be.
enemy. Used to be. Oh, it used to be. Okay.
Used to be. Yeah. But the pig is going to tear down the ground and send, you don't want to destroy your habitat for your truffles for next year. So dogs are perfect.
And where did truffles get their lore?
I'm sorry?
Where did the mystique and the value of truffles come from? Because it is hard to source and it traditionally, what was it, European?
Oh, definitely, because that's where you find them. They grow in France, Italy. Now you find them in Spain, but then you have Central, Europe also. That's where you find them. Now they've been populated in other countries in the southern hemisphere, but we have actually truffles in Texas. We have pecan truffles, which is a very interesting truffle. Doesn't look like this. They're all different in taste, flavor, and the skin. That looks a little bit like the nose of a dog, if you look. We have truffles here. We have truffles on the West Coast. They're all different truffles, but this is the king of the truffle. It's the black winter truffle. There's nothing better than this.
No, they're beautiful, and I cooked with them one time, and I bought them at Central Market, and you're kind of on a timeline because as they age, they shrink, right?
Well, again, it's full of water. So every day you lose a little bit of the truffle. But like a black truffle, if you're not going to finish it, you slice it very nicely, put it on a tray or something and freeze it. And you can use it for 6 months. No problem.
I did not know that.
Not the white truffle, just the black.
Just the black. And what is the main difference between the black and the white truffle?
Very different in taste and flavor and also origin. Black truffles are now cultivated. The white truffles, no one has managed to do it yet. So they're still wild. That explains why they're so expensive. Plus, they're only in Italy. You go up Central Europe, and that's it. Nowhere else in the world you have white truffles. So that explains the price difference.
Yeah. So they really are a rare delicacy.
Yeah,
For
definitely.
sure. The other thing I think is kind of fun about truffles, if you do this for maybe it's a special someone or a group of people, is the process of shaving them, right? You really can. It's kind of like when you open a bottle of wine, there's kind of a little procedure that goes along with the truffles that's quite nice.
So I would say, yeah, first it would be to take your truffle out of your fridge, and let it breathe like a good bottle of wine. You know, you open it and let it breathe and get to room temperature, because that's when it starts smelling really, absolutely. It's insane. When we have, big shipment coming in, you open that bottle. It's insane. The smell of it. So you let it air and get to the room temperature before you start shaving it. And I like to use the grater, cause it's easier than the slicer. And you just do it like this. And then over you dish.
Okay. I used the other one, and I remember being nervous because you only have that one little.
Yeah.
You paid a lot of money for that little truffle.
Yeah.
And you wanted to get it just right. So it's kind of fun.
So this is what we advise. We have some. So you just grate your truffle as much as you need, put it on your dish, and you're good to go. Remember not to cook with your truffles. Do not cook with truffles. It's a finishing product, like a finishing salt. Cause if you start cooking, all the water in the truffle is going to evaporate and you're losing the taste.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a shame. When it comes to Mexican food restaurants in San Antonio, a few names come to mind. Los Barrios, La Hacienda de los Barrios, and Viola's Ventanas. All are family-owned and operated local restaurants. These restaurants have been featured on Good Morning America, The Today Show in New York, along with many other national and international programs. The Barrios family have been in the restaurant business for more than 50 years in San Antonio. Come join the fun and become part of the family. Well, and if you can't find the truffles, or perhaps you don't want to, shell out the money for the truffle, there's lots of other ways to get that truffle flavor, right?
Right. Yeah. We, like in our store, we have truffle honey, we have truffle oils, of course, a black and a white. We have truffle salt. And then you have some other substitute product like truffle carpaccio, which are just summer truffles sliced in oil or in truffle juice, depending. And you can use that too.
Interesting. I picked up a bag of, and I haven't tried them yet, your truffle potato chips.
Yeah, this is dangerous. If you open it, it's gone. Yes. They're. So actually, we had an event last night for preparing for a big truffle master event, and we were serving caviar because that's another specialty we have. And we were serving caviar on those truffle chips, Stanley. Just think about it.
Man. These are fabulous. Sometimes truffle is a very strong flavor, and a little can go a long way. These are perfect.
Yeah, they're perfect. Yes.
Oh,
unfortunately, they are perfect.
Unfortunately, you are absolutely right. You were right. Well, let's talk a little bit. We're going to talk about Truffle Masters. It's an incredible event that's done. You do, your team puts on in Houston every year. The most wonderful chefs in the city all participate and compete. I'm judged it, and I'm judging again. It's a lot of fun. How in the world did you get into the truffle business and the world of mushrooms?
So, I have to admit, I'm a big game hunter. So I decided to go on a hunting trip in Spain to get an ibex, and I was hunting on an estate, and the owner of the estate brings me one night a jar full of winter truffles, and he said, "Do you want to import those?" And I said, "Yeah."
Wow.
So that's how I started importing truffles to Texas, to Houston, actually. Yeah.
Wow. And so you're French. How in the world did you end up landing in Texas?
So my dad invited me to go hunting again on a ranch, an exotic game ranch in Texas, actually in Del Rio, Texas. If you know where that is, it's
I do.
Small little town. You do?
Tiny, way south. Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing else but rocks and cactus and ranches. That's all there is. And an Air Force base. Sorry. And so he invited me to go, and this is how I met actually another French person who became my husband. And I left
Was he
France. I
living
sold my
there?
car in Del Rio, Texas. Yeah, it was a ranch.
What are the odds?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's like why life is amazing. You never know.
Isn't that the truth? So you guys met on that hunting trip.
Yeah, I did. Met him, and within 6 months, I sold my car, closed my business, and I moved to Del Rio, Texas.
What did your dad think about that?
Oh, he loved it. He's a hunter. So for him, it was all good.
An inside connection with some great hunting.
Exactly.
Oh, how funny. And then how did you get to Houston?
So Houston was always in my mind because I saw the concert that Jean-Michel Jarre, who is a French artist who plays on laser. He did a concert in downtown Houston on those buildings after the space shuttle exploded. So it's 1987 or something,
Yeah.
86 or 87.
Or so,
And
yeah.
I saw that on TV in France, and I knew that artist, and I said, I want to live there. So it took me a couple of years, a couple of decades,
Wow.
but I moved here. So
How about that? Well, we're certainly glad you have, for sure. Well, I'm curious because I mentioned to you, the name of our podcast is Good Taste for the Soul. Anyone who has a business knows there are good days for the soul and sometimes not so good days. I'm curious, what gives you joy? Is there something in your work you love? Is there something outside of work?
So I love my company. It's not my baby. Some people would say, no, it's a company and I want it to prosper and give good to my employees. So that's important to me. So if we all grow, they grow, and I want them to be happy. So that's the first thing. I love to travel because each time you travel, you meet people, you try food, you see amazing places. So travel is definitely on my bucket list. Food is a passion. When I'm down at the house for not a great day, I pull up a recipe. When I invite friends, we cook together. So cooking is definitely, another one. And then honestly, last year, I started ballroom dancing, the whole thing.
Really?
And I love it. Yes. Yes. So.
Oh my.
That's me.
I love that part of you. I didn't know so much of that. Well, tell us about Truffle Masters, the event, because Houstonians look forward to it. It sells out every year.
So Truffle Masters was created 2 months after I opened my company in 2015, and we did that in a landscaping business. So it was outdoor. It got really cold because it was January. All the ladies loved it because they took out their fur coats, and so it was very cool. It was not perfect. But this year is going to be the 11th year, and now we have 30 chefs, from 30 restaurants. We have 5, that's a new contest that we're doing. We have 5, bartenders from very high-end, restaurants, coming, and that's going to be the first hour. And then we have about 500 to 600 guests. And this year, it's going to benefit, Southern Smoke.
Wonderful. Well, it is a fun event. And if you've only maybe smelled a truffle or maybe you've tried it, this is an opportunity to try a wide variety. And these chefs get incredibly creative with it. And I wanted to let people know as well, we'll put your website up because you can get tickets online. But also your mushrooms. I was so excited, and I didn't know this when you and I talked. They're at HEB.
Right. Yes. Yeah, HEB came to see me 2 years ago, or maybe 3 now, and say, we want you to pack your mushrooms so we can sell them at HEB. And, I've learned in America, you say yes, and then you figure it out. So that's what I did. And now we became a mushroom packer. So, selling other stuff. And now, within a year, actually, because like you said at the beginning, mushrooms are really in right now. So within a year, we're in about 150, 250 HEBs around the state of Texas.
That's really something. And it's a real testament to your success because you started out selling to chefs.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I had a little black bag. I would go to kitchens and say, do you want to see what I have?
Yeah. It's a beautiful story. There's another woman, she's since passed, but Bunny Becker, she and her husband founded Becker Vineyards, which now is in HEB.
Oh, yes.
She started out, she would tell the story, schlepping her wine. She would go door to door, restaurant to restaurant to sell wine. Hard work.
But
you can't
you know,
around.
no one can sell your product better than yourself because you're passionate. It's your life story. It's your story. You'll sell it because passion gives the passion to the other person, and then they're inclined to want your product.
Well, and you have an incredible product. Like I say, next time someone's in HEB, look in the mushrooms. It's DR Delicacy, and they are clean. They are fresh. They're just beautiful.
Yeah, we have six different kinds at HEB at this point.
And then Central Market as well. You're in Central Market.
Well, Central Market, that's where I started. So Central Market, we do both. So all those beautiful oysters, king trumpets, all that is Central Market. If you see those big mushroom display with truffles in the middle, that's us most of the time.
How about that? Well, and it is beautiful. The display is just so eye-popping. It's just a matter of knowing what to do with some of those. You have so many different varieties.
Well, we always have a QR code, at least on the mushroom at HEB. You have a QR code. You can scan that, and you'll have tons of recipes that we put on there, videos, all kinds of things.
Wonderful. Well, I have to tell you, with my Lion's Mane, I made the crab cakes that were on your website, and we'll put your website up so people can find it. And
thank you.
I'm telling you, they were really good.
Yeah.
My husband loved them too. If you didn't know there wasn't crab, I don't think you miss it at all.
You wouldn't know. I mean, it's really one of the particular ones. You have to know how to cook it because it's a little intimidating. You don't know what to do with it. But crab cake, everyone has a recipe.
Well, and it was fun because literally you're peeling pieces of the mushroom and just kind of shredding it off. So I don't know about you, but sometimes cooking for me is kind of therapeutic after a long day as well. And just something where you don't really have to think too much. You're just getting it ready. It was wonderful. Well, I love talking to you, Diane. I hats off to your tremendous success with DR Delicacy. And people can find it at DR. I'll let you give the website so I don't mistake.
So it is DR Delicacy. DR being not a doctor, but my initial, Diane Roederer. So drdelicacy.com. And you'll have all the recipe, all the products we sell, and then a link to the Truffle Masters, which is the big event that's going to happen on March 3rd.
It's right around the corner. Well, I will tell you one thing I know now that's good for my soul, unfortunately, are these truffle potato chips. These are fantastic.
Yeah, they're very good. I totally agree.
Overwhelmed. Yeah, I try not to do the potato chip thing, but this may stay at my desk for a while.
It won't last very long. Trust me.
I can assure you, they're quite good. Diane, thank you so much. I'll see you at Truffle Masters, and
absolutely,
you'll make some new friends from today as well.
Oh, for sure. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In case you're interested in Truffle Masters, it is a wonderful event, and you get to try truffles done in so many different ways. You can get the tickets online. It's at drdelicacy.com. Look for Truffle Masters. That's the name of the event. And of course, the mushrooms that Diane's company represents, she has them available online, as well as those amazing truffle potato chips. Those are addictive. I'll warn you right now, but they're really good for my soul. They're good. Have a great day, everyone. Till next time. Ciao.
Get social with us. Follow us on Instagram at Goodtaste TV.